Imagine a place where time dares not touch, where the walls whisper secrets that were never meant to be heard, and where ghosts never leave. A place like Myrtle's Plantation, lying silently atop a hill in St. Francisville, Louisiana, is not just a house. It is a living tomb where cursed souls are imprisoned, doomed to repeat the tragedies of the past. Built in 1796, this plantation has stood through war, through human upheaval, and through countless deaths. But what makes this place the most haunted house in America? The answer lies deep within the soil, in ancient curses, and in the blood that soaks this land. People say that before the first bricks were laid, this ground was the sacred burial site of the Tunica tribe. Ancient rituals were once performed here, beneath the shadow of old oak trees, to summon forest spirits. But one night, under a cold silver moon, a shaman broke a taboo. He tried to strike a deal with a dark entity, something unnamed, to protect his people. His blood spilled into the earth, mixing with the red soil, and a curse was born. Since then, anyone who steps onto this land feels a chill down their spine, as if watched from the shadows. When Myrtle's Plantation was being built, workers reported hearing crying from beneath the ground, as if spirits were being disturbed. Their tools disappeared, only to reappear in locked rooms. One builder even swore he saw a figure in a red cloak beneath an oak tree at midnight, with eyes glowing like embers. But the first owners of the plantation, ignoring the warnings, completed the construction. Unknowingly, they had built a gateway, not for the living to enter, but for trapped souls to rise. Over the centuries, the plantation has witnessed horrifying tragedies. War ravaged the land, leaving bullet marks on walls and wandering spirits in the yard. Hangings, poisonings, and shootings took place in the shadows, as if the tribal curse still demanded blood. Historical records note only one confirmed murder. William Winter, a lawyer who lived there from 1865 to 1871. One fateful night, as thick fog covered the hill, a stranger shot him on the front porch. Bleeding heavily, Winter staggered inside, trying to climb the stairs for help. But on the 17th step, he collapsed, his final breath merging with the cold air. They say that on quiet nights, you can still hear his staggering footsteps on the stairs, as if he's still trying to escape his fate. But William is not the only ghost. In 1920, an old journal was found in the plantation's damp basement, locked in a dusty chest. Its yellowed pages were written in a strange language, mixed with voodoo symbols and trembling descriptions of a pact with the darkness. The author, an unknown former owner, claimed to see faceless shadows moving through the hallways at night. The last page was scorched, as if destroyed by an invisible hand, but one final line remained. They do not sleep. They never sleep. The curse of Myrtle's Plantation is not just legend. Former residents speak of strange dreams where they are pulled into an endless tomb, with voices whispering their names. The mirrors, no matter how often cleaned, show ghostly handprints. And on stormy nights, when lightning splits the sky, people swear they see shadowy figures standing under the oaks, as if waiting for something, or someone. Myrtle's Plantation is not just a house. It is a living mausoleum, where past and present blur together, and cursed souls still linger in the dark. And if you are brave enough to walk through its gates, be careful. Because once you enter, you may never leave. Stepping into Myrtle's Plantation is stepping into a world where the boundary between life and death is as thin as mist. The walls here don't just hold secrets, they hold souls, ghosts trapped in an unending curse. They do not sleep, they do not rest, and they are always watching. You've heard the bloody history of this place, but now listen to what they've left behind. Whispers in the dark, signs of a presence that doesn't belong to this world. Everything begins with small but undeniable signs. The clocks in the plantation, even those without springs or batteries, all stop at 3:33 a.m., the time when William Winter, the murdered lawyer, is believed to have taken his last breath on the stairs. But that's not the only thing. On quiet nights, when moonlight streams through the windows, guests say they hear heavy, staggering footsteps, like Winter still trying to reach the 17th step. Some swear they felt a freezing hand touch their shoulder, followed by an icy breath on their neck, whispering, "Run." But William Winter is not the only ghost. There is another spirit, more infamous, more haunting, Chloe, the maid who committed an unforgivable sin. In the 1800s, fearing she'd be cast out of the plantation, Chloe baked a poisoned cake, hoping only to make the judge's daughters ill. But the plan backfired. The girls collapsed, their faces pale, their breaths fading. In panic, other enslaved people dragged Chloe from her bed, hanged her beneath the ancient oak, and threw her body into the Mississippi River. But death was not the end. Chloe's spirit became trapped within the plantation, condemned to repeat her crime. Guests report seeing a woman in a white gown, holding a burnt cake, standing silently at the foot of their bed at midnight. Some wake up to the faint smell of smoke, only to find no fire burning. Then there is the girl in the window, a mystery that chills even the most seasoned investigators. In 1992, a photo taken at the plantation revealed a young girl in an antebellum dress, half hidden behind a curtain. But who is she? Rumor says she was the victim of a failed voodoo ritual in 1868, when a priest tried to save her but accidentally bound her soul to the playroom. On full moon nights, her shadow appears in the second-floor window, singing a Creole lullaby with a tune that stops the heart. Those who hear it dream the same dream, a girl leading them to a mirror where they see their face twisted, their eyes hollow. The strange phenomena do not stop there. The portraits on the wall seem to have lives of their own. Visitors say the eyes in the paintings follow them, sometimes smiling, sometimes frowning. An old mirror in the main hallway is said to lie. Look into it and you may see a face that isn't yours, a distorted face with a cold, unnatural smile. The baccarat crystal chandelier in the sitting room swings on its own, even with every window sealed shut. Some hear the laughter of children from the basement, a place no one dares enter after sunset. And on stormy nights, when lightning splits the sky, figures without faces gather beneath the oaks, as if waiting for an invitation. Myrtle's plantation is not just haunted by spirits. It is a labyrinth of fear, where every corner, every step, every mirror holds an untold story. The ghosts here don't just linger, they hunt. And if you are brave enough to stay overnight, remember this. Don't look into the mirror. Don't answer the whispers. And never go down to the basement. Because down there, in the darkness, something is waiting for you. Darkness blankets the Myrtles plantation, heavy like a curse that cannot be broken. Tonight, we step into a place where time stands still, where the spirits never leave. With infrared cameras, EVP recorders, and EMF meters, we come to confront the ghosts that have made this house a legend. But nothing could have prepared us for what awaited. Here, in the cold hallways, the truth doesn't always belong to the living. We begin in the playroom, where a portrait of a girl with hollow eyes hangs silently on the wall. She is said to be the victim of a failed voodoo ritual and seems to be watching us. We place the camera in front of the painting and ask, "Who is here with us?" The air suddenly turns frigid, as if winter's breath has entered the room. The thermometer records a drop of 10 degrees in just a few seconds. The EVP recorder plays a faint, trembling voice. "Help me, mirror." One of us steps toward the antique mirror nearby, heart pounding. For a split second, a bloody handprint appears on the mirror's surface, then fades away as if it never existed. But the feeling of being watched doesn't go away. It clings to us, like an invisible hand tightening around our throats. We move to the staircase where William Winter took his last breath in 1871. The 17th step is marked with a dark red stain, as if his blood never dried. We place a motion sensor there, hoping to catch evidence of his spirit. Suddenly, the sensor shrieks, though no one is near it. The infrared camera captures a blurry figure dragging heavy steps up the stairs, then vanishing into thin air. The EVP recorder picks up a chilling whisper, "He's still here." Who is he? The man who shot Winter? Or something darker lurking within these walls? Our hearts pound harder, but we can't stop now. Not yet. Chloe's room is our next destination. Chloe, the maid who poisoned Judge Clark Woodruff's daughters, was hanged and thrown into the Mississippi River. Her spirit, they say, is still trapped within the plantation, carrying the charred cake of her guilt. We light a candle, place it on the table, and call her name. "Chloe, are you here?" A cold breeze blows through, snuffing out the candle, even though every window is sealed shut. Our camera captures the figure of a woman standing in the corner, holding a cake, smoke rising as if freshly baked. We turn to look again, but she vanishes. On the table, where the candle had gone out, a burnt cake now sits, still smoking as if placed by an unseen hand. The smell of smoke chokes us, but more terrifying is the sense that Chloe is not just present, she is angry. The deeper we investigate, the more we feel the presence of something greater, darker. One team member suddenly stops moving, his face pale, saying he feels an invisible hand squeezing his throat. He describes a recurring dream, a little girl leading him to the basement to a locked door. We decide to check the basement, though every instinct screams not to. There, behind peeling paint on the wall, we find an ancient voodoo symbol, carved deep as if by fingernails. When we try to photograph it, the camera glitches, screen flickering on and off. Then a low growl rumbles from beneath the floor, as if something is awakening. We back away, hearts racing, but the basement door slowly creaks open, then slams shut with a force that shakes the entire house. As dawn breaks, we leave the Myrtles plantation, but the feeling of being followed lingers. What we witnessed wasn't just ghosts, it was a warning. This house isn't just haunted. It lives, it breathes, and it hunts. Chloe, the girl, William Winter, and the others are still here, bound by an ancient curse. They don't want us to leave. They want us to stay, forever. If you are brave enough to walk through this plantation's gates, remember, don't answer the whispers. Don't look into the mirror. And never open the basement door. Because down there, in the darkness, something is waiting for you. And it knows your name.